Hey there, this is Real Talk Baseball. I'm Carlos Baseball. With me, as always, is Will Power and Tony Snap. For those of you that just tuning in and watching us, the All-Star game just happened. Vladimir Guerrero won the MVP, and of course, the American League won again. I believe that's what, 8 in a row.
Yeah,
And yeah,
8 in a row, man.
dude. Why are we even watching it, man? If we already
He
know the
dominates
outcome,
the All-Star game.
dude. It was a little bit anticipated for a lot of fans, I guess, because of the COVID happened last year, and there wasn't a lot of things happening. So I guess a lot of people were waiting and looking forward to the All-Star game, which was kind of cool. Like, it's been a while. It's been since 2019. There hasn't been an All-Star game. We act like there's a bunch of years ago, right? But
Felt like it.
it felt like it, right? A lot of players were excited to come and play. A lot of players weren't excited, and that's why they didn't go and participate. But to be honest, I think it was a good thing. It felt like a good atmosphere, even just Bud Black and Smoltz. To me, I don't really like how they announce the games.
Yeah, I don't think anyone does.
I think Tony
Honestly,
likes
man,
them.
you know who which announcer I really like is Joe Davis,
Joe
who
Davis pretty good.
he announces for the Dodgers, but he also does a lot of Fox Sports and ESPN games. He does a lot of football and basketball too.
He does. He does. I've seen him on Fox do other baseball games, and I've seen him in football. So
I know he has a contract.
Good.
He has a contract with the Dodgers, but he also has a contract with MLB itself. Yeah. So for certain games, the ones that are like free for everyone that don't have like the blackouts, he does a lot of those games.
Yeah.
But I love his enthusiasm, dude. It's like even if I'm watching a Dodger game and they're playing a different team, he gets so excited if the other team gets a home run. You know, he's not just calling the Dodgers, he's calling the baseball game itself. I really like that.
That's how it's supposed to be. Remember when this guy here, Vince Scully, used to be on the game, and it's just like he used to do the same thing.
He would talk about both sides. He would talk about like how Madison Bumgarner owns a ranch and he fell off a horse one day, and random little facts like that. It's really cool to kind of hear that during the game. A lot of people say baseball's a boring sport to watch, right? I can understand where people are coming from, because you really have to appreciate good pitching to really focus and watch a full baseball game, 9 innings. But a guy like that's on the microphone, that has a story to tell pretty much during the whole 3 hours that you're watching, it makes it a little more engaging. It makes people kind of pay attention a little bit more.
Yes, sir. Not only that, though, yesterday, the home run derby, while it was happening, they were talking about how, launch angles and how they were looking at the ball, how the hitting coach or whoever was throwing the ball to the hitters, how they practiced before the home run derby. So, they hit like what was it? Pete Alonso hit like 30 something home runs in the first round.
35.
And, oh my God. Like, how do you do that? So this guy's going
to, and this year was, they get only 3 minutes instead of 4 minutes.
No, well, they got the 3 minutes, and if you hit it over 450 or something like that,
470.
What was it, 470?
I think it was 475, actually.
Yeah, I think it's 475, and you get 30 seconds.
Yeah.
For each one that you hit, right?
For each one that you hit. Up to a minute.
Up to a minute.
Up to a minute. Okay. Yeah. So then, dude.
So Tony hit like 3 that were like +5
bombs, right? Man, dude. Yeah, it was
Colorado, man. And
exactly.
they said that
Colorado. It was
they
Colorado,
said that they didn't keep any of the balls in the humidor, so they were just regular old-fashioned juiced balls.
Oh, and that's why the ball was flying.
Yeah,
dude, exactly. I saw like a bunch of bombs, almost like I'm like, did that hit the screen? Did I come up to the screen? Like, dude, Vladimir Guerrero like hit a bomb today in the All-Star game. The first run of I guess it was the game. This guy just hit a bomb. It was like you can see it and you can hear it right off the bat. It was amazing, dude.
Yeah.
Anyway, Pete Alonso won again in the home run derby. I think he's just gonna keep tearing it up as long as he participates in that home run derby. I think he's gonna be the champ for a while, because
it kind of seems like it, man.
Yeah. It doesn't look like he's gonna stop. So I don't know if you guys know who the Sabretooth the actor. Do you know what's his name, Will?
Liev Schreiber.
Dude, I was seeing Pete Alonso yesterday, and I'm like, man, this guy looks straight up like Sabretooth, man. So I'm like, oh, let's just go ahead and create a little picture so people can see like my boy Sabretooth in the home run derby. Interesting story, dude. I was looking at TikTok today, and I saw Pete Alonso went to a bar right after the home run derby to celebrate that he won, and the people in the bar were starting to kick everybody out because I guess it was a midnight curfew. I forgot what it was, and they started kicking people out and not realizing that was Pete Alonso. And in the background, they had the home run derby going. Like all the TVs had the home run derby going. So none of the bartenders, no one understood who that guy was. That was Pete Alonso, and he got kicked out. So
Damn.
he didn't get to celebrate. I'm like, get out.
Get out of here.
Yeah, we don't know who you are, man. Get out. We don't.
Yeah,
you know.
because I mean,
Pete Alonso,
if-
he probably
if
had the
they-
chain on too. They were like, "Man, get out of here."
Hey, that chain. What was up with that chain, man? Are they
That
trying to
shit
bite
was
off
sick.
of
I liked
San
it.
Diego?
I don't know,
dude?
man.
Dude, that was I think that's
It
what
was
they were.
spinning.
It was
Yeah.
spinning, right?
I mean, if
Home
they're
run
really
done.
gonna copy someone, they're copying John Cena, right? Because he's the one that did that shit
Yeah.
first.
Hey, it
Was he?
was sick. I liked it. I thought it was
Yeah,
very.
it was pretty cool. It was
It's,
pretty.
be-
cool.
it's better than what they had before. I think they had
Well,
a
it's just
belt
the
or
bat.
something like.
It's
No,
just
they
the
had
bat.
they had the bats, and then they
trophy.
had a belt. They had a belt or something. I forgot what
Yeah.
it was. Yeah, so now they have the chain, which is pretty.
I know
cool.
there's another team out there. I don't remember which team it is, but they do the championship belt, like a wrestling belt.
Oh, they do.
Kind of like how San Diego has like the spinner,
The Mets.
and the Phillies have the
The
Phillies
Mets?
have like a straw hat. It's probably the Mets. I think it's the Mets.
Yeah,
The Phillies have a straw hat that has like a Phillies logo on it. On the
Ah.
front.
it's
Yeah.
weak.
Yeah.
It's weak.
Shit's
Don't,
weak.
hey, don't the A's have like a trident or something, or is it the Rays? One of them teams. They have
Maybe
like
the Mariners. That would make more sense if they had a trident.
I don't know who it was, but I'm just like, and
That's
they've
pretty
had
cool,
it for
though.
a long time. I'm like, that's pretty cool. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it makes it more fun like that. It's a friendly competition between yourself and other teammates. You know,
yeah,
whoever can keep it the longest or get it back the most times or something like that by the end of the season. It makes you want to try harder in addition to just helping your team. It's
Yeah.
extra motivation.
I got a question for you guys since we're talking still about the All-Star game. Who is the player that's played the most All-Star games? And
In total, I
in
mean,
total. Yeah.
oh geez,
Kershaw?
No,
No.
you guys want
like all history.
all history, man.
I don't
Don't
know.
look
You
at your
know who I
phone.
saw?
Don't
Oh,
look at
They
your
had a
phone.
lot of stars. Was Kimbrough. Kimbrough had a bunch of
Kimbrough?
stars on the back of his jersey. I was like,
Ronaldo did too. I don't know
Yeah.
if that
Ronaldo
was
did too.
is that because of the how many All-Star games they participated in?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I'm pretty
actually
sure,
what,
right?
what on the show that you weren't available, Carlos.
Uh-huh.
Tony and I were talking about that, about the All-Star jerseys.
Yeah,
That neither of us really like the All-Star jerseys. We feel like it looks like a soccer jersey,
uh-huh.
which doesn't really belong in baseball. But the one thing that I thought was really cool about it was on the back was the number of stars on the back corresponds to how many times they've been to the All-Star game. So I thought that was actually really cool.
Yeah, I
That
think
was
it was pretty cool that they did that. I don't disagree with that. For
Who
sure
was
though,
it?
If
I'm gonna
if
give
I'm
you
gonna
the
guess, man, I'm gonna say Yadier Molina.
and it's not current, dude. So I don't think you guys are gonna get it.
No,
Yeah. Okay, and it's Hank Aaron, man.
Hank
Oh,
Aaron?
really?
Yeah, Hank Aaron, 25, dude. Can you believe
No
that?
way.
Yeah. I
What
was like,
the
what?
hell?
No
How
way.
long was his
That'll
25?
career?
never be broken, dude. The
I
way that
have no
baseball
idea.
players are so injury
How
prone
long was
now,
his career?
that's never gonna
Like
happen.
30-year career?
He
then?
probably played 30 years. He played till age 51 or something like that.
He probably did, bro.
Dude, I don't know, man. This guy played a lot of seasons and 25 years, 25 All-Star appearances. And they said it today in the All-Star game. So I was like, oh, okay. Well, they celebrated
Hey,
Hank Aaron.
Did you guys hear what Tatis said when he was mic'd up?
Yep, I
He
did.
took my words, man. He said man strength.
Yeah.
He's like 26 years old coming up on that man strength. I was like, oh, I gotta text the guys right now.
Yeah, I did see that. I saw that. I'm like, Will's gonna text us right now.
Hey, how many? No, he had 21 All-Star
21?
games. Yeah.
Well, why they say 25? Maybe because
don't
of
know. He played for 23 years. And
Mm.
only the first year and the last year of his career was he not an All-Star.
Maybe they're counting minor league all-star game.
It could be. I honestly, that's what they said, and I looked it up, And
Oh
then,
yeah.
right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay. So
They
it
are.
counts.
I can see
That
it here.
counts. That
They're
counts.
counting the minor league all-star games. Is that why?
Mhm. Yeah, that's what it is.
Because
So, but
those
dude,
matter,
still,
right?
yeah, yeah, it's still though. It's like a huge thing for baseball. Like, who's gonna break 21 years anyway?
No one.
No one. No one's
No
gonna
one. No
even
one
come
plays for
close.
that long anymore, man. Unless you're like freaking Ichiro or Nelson Cruz. Like it's so
No,
rare that you see guys play for that long anymore. Guys are just injury prone, or they just
they're scary.
they're like I got millions in the bank already. I don't need to play anymore, and they just retire or end up coaching or go to the front office. Chase Utley, you know.
Hey, so we just have a comment. They should have took a Wolverine with him. So he's talking about Sabretooth.
Dude, so the home run derby was at in Colorado, so it was at 5:30, right?
Uh-huh.
And then it ended around what, like 8 o'clock, something like that.
Yeah.
So you figure like it probably takes him at least 2 hours to get from that point to the hotel wherever he's staying at to get showered up and get ready to go out. So by the time he gets to the bar, it's probably close to 11 o'clock or so. And then the bar closes at midnight. So he probably wasn't even there for an hour. That sucks, dude.
That does suck. And I'm pretty sure he was there taking his first sip and like, time to get out.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Should have took
Don't
the
you know?
trophy. They probably would have stayed open longer.
Yeah. He should have just said, I'm Sabretooth, man. Let me stay.
Break out the
dude,
claws.
Hey, so there's more news. I know you posted something on Instagram about MLB trying to take away some of the things that they've put in for 2020. The rules, I guess. What's the second, what is it called? A runner on second base after the extra innings, the shift, and is that happening after the All-Star game or is that happening for next season?
I think there was a lot of backlash already from what happened to Tony.
I think he is indisposed in the moment.
So I think that there's a lot of backlash about to Manfred and MLB in general, that they're already changing rules or at least implementing rules during the season already with the sticky substance situation.
Yeah.
Trevor Bauer even said, like, if you're going to start enforcing it, that's fine, but do it as soon as the season starts. Don't do it mid-season. So I think that because they had that backlash and they're hearing all these crap from fans and players and coaches and everybody pretty much in general, I don't think they're going to implement anything during the season already. That's already, halfway over.
Yeah.
If anything, they're going to wait until the 2022 season starts, or maybe just until this entire pandemic has just kind of subsided completely, which we don't know. Maybe by 2022, what do you call it? Spring training. Maybe we'll be somewhat back to normal. I mean, how are you guys in LA? Do you guys still have to wear masks everywhere you go?
Some places, it depends where you're going. If you're going to go into an inside facility and stuff like that, where there's a lot of people, they're not mandating it though. That's the thing. So you walk in and you're
more
doing
like
it.
individual shop owners,
but there's a lot of people doing it. I still wear it going into Costco and stuff like that, where there's a bunch of people. I still wear it around like a lot of places, which is, but I look at the people. If their people are wearing the mask, then I try to be respectful too. So, but everybody's doing that on their own basis. In California, it's actually, it's completely open from what I'm seeing. A lot of people don't care. So it's just completely open. And then as you see in the stadiums, like Colorado was packed today.
Yeah, it was. There was not really an empty seat in the house, man.
So when was the last time we've seen something on TV really packed like that?
So when's the Dodger parade then?
The Dodger parade, man, I don't think it's gonna happen. Would you feel the same now if they have a parade now as opposed to just having it right after the World Series? Exactly. So there's no point. It's like the Lakers, man. The Lakers won the championship last year. There's no point in having the parade now. It's like, I mean, that's how I feel.
Special for the fans, right? If they're not going to do a parade, maybe do like a extra fan appreciation day or
a day off from work, dude. I don't care.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
That'd be dope, man. The whole city of LA, like, why not take a day off, like to rest and relax. Well, it's gonna I guess the change rules, I just have them here. It look at limiting defensive shifts or eliminating. So limiting, I don't understand what that means. I don't
Well,
know if they're
okay,
gonna,
so
like use 3 of them or stuff like that.
so banning the shift means that the shortstop has to be
Yeah, everybody has to be in their position.
everyone has to be in their position, but
Yeah.
a few feet isn't really such a big deal. But I think limiting the shift is more like the second baseman cannot go past the second base bag going towards shortstop, and then the shortstop can't go past the second base bag going towards second base, and then the third baseman has to stay on the left side of the infield. First baseman has to stay on the right side of the infield. So, like,
That's
you
what
know
it
how
means?
we've seen Machado in right field where
Yeah.
they have like 2 right fielders, you know,
That's
and
a rover.
he's got some, yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm thinking about when they're saying not necessarily banning it. So they're letting like the infielders kind of move around the infield, but when you have, you know, a third baseman already going all the way to the outfield, or you know, pretty much having 4 outfielders, I think that's what they're meaning by limiting the shift.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's not the fault of the team that's actually doing the shift. If you are batting and you're a left-hander and there's no one on third base, why not bunt it over?
Yeah.
That's simple. Stop trying to hit the ball and pull everything. So eliminating the 7-inning doubleheaders, which I believe they should, because there's been 2 no-hitters already and they're not even counted as no-hitters.
Exactly,
That's
dude.
a good idea. And then elimination of like the starting extra innings with the man on second base. Some people like it, some don't, but is it really saving time? We would have to see, right? And then possibly extending DH to the National League. That I agree. I think it will be a really good idea for the National League to have that, because what I was thinking today before the American League won again is that the pitching on the National League is not just focused on pitching, because pitchers have to focus on bunting and hitting. So that's taking a little bit of extra time away from them focusing on pitching. When you're looking at a pitcher from the American League, all he's focusing on is, you know, pitching, unless you're Ohtani, right? But that's why I think the American League is a little bit tougher when it comes to pitching than there is the National League. And that's why the American League always wins the All-Star game.
I agree.
Yeah, so that's just my 2 cents. I think that's why the American League is always winning. Right, Tony?
Well, yeah, because
Tony got stuck. Well,
is he
I think
stuck?
Yeah,
Is
I think he's stuck.
Oh, he's frozen. Dang.
Yeah.
So I guess it's not just your internet. It must be his internet too.
Yeah, it's all over, dude. The freaking internet's super slow, man. I don't know what it is. They're trying to take away everything.
I don't
away
know.
from us.
Mine seems fine.
Yeah.
I'm all the way on the other side of the country, so
Yeah, you're on the other side of the
little
world. So
different
you're
over
good.
here.
You're
Yeah.
good. Is it hot out there or you're good?
It's been really humid lately. So 82 degrees actually feels more like it's in the low 90s. And I had to return a bunch of flooring back to Costco today, dude. It was like 20, 25, 26 boxes of flooring. And I had to load it up in the truck and take it back to Costco by myself. And I was out there in the heat, man. Shit sucked. I was like, should
You
have
were
done
having
this
a lot of
in
fun out there or what?
spring. Not really.
Yeah.
You know, I got a 5-year-old, so he's always trying to go outside and play. And dude, every time he goes out, he gets so freaking sweaty, man. It's pretty disgusting. And I'm just there. I'm just trying to chill, you know, pour some water on my head. But this dude gets like nasty sweaty.
Well, we'll wait.
When I used to be like that as a kid. Must be great being a kid.
Yeah. No worries, man. I didn't even sign up to be a grown up, to be honest. It sucks to be a grown up. Anyway, we'll go ahead and start that fantasy draft regret. We'll wait for Tony. Hopefully he could jump back in. But dude, I'm looking forward to the second half of baseball. I think it's going to change a lot. It's not going to be as it used to be, where years before I thought that a lot of players played their hardest in the first half and they continued on to the second half. And that's how I looked at baseball. Because of the pandemic, I'm looking at baseball a lot different. I'm looking at baseball as the first half being, let's try to stick around the first place teams. And then the second half of baseball, they pick it up. And that's how I feel this second half is going to be way different than any other baseball seasons, because we're looking at a different game now. We're not looking at it as we used to. Like I said, because of the pandemic, so many teams are looking at how can we not exhaust our team. What we were talking about the Padres, we said that their bullpen is taxed, right? They're taking this rest, and I think they're going to come back strong. And they're 6 games back
Yeah.
in third place, but I feel I don't know why I feel that the second half they're going to pick it up. And not only them, the champs, the Dodgers, they're going to pick it up as well. The Giants have been playing good baseball, but are they legit? Are they going to stay in first place, and are they going to be able to ride it all the way through the end of the season? And I mean, only time will tell, but I feel like this second half of baseball is going to be different than any other baseball season I've ever seen because of what we just lived through in 2020. So, all right, Tony, you good? You ready for the draft regrets?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. You have them already or no?
I did go into our leagues and check who I drafted. So
because you don't have none of them anymore, right?
what I do have though, I traded for both times.
Both times.
Which is Cody Bellinger. I think it's pretty much hands down. I think you can add Christian Yelich to that mix as well in the outfield position.
Did you draft Yelich?
No. I didn't draft either one of them. I'm just saying, like, Christian Yelich and Cody Bellinger have both. They were like either late round 1 or definitely round 2 players who haven't done nothing that's to that value or standard of a second or first round pick, you know. Yeah. So that's my guy that but personally, the one that I drafted, I don't know, Conforto in one of my leagues, in Javi's league, I drafted Conforto round 5. Oh no, round 6.
And you're that's your big time regret?
That's early.
Yeah, well, he was going like round 7, and the outfielding was getting like really scarce.
But if you drafted Conforto in round, you said 5?
6.
Round 6 in a 10-team league, that's pretty early, man. What is that, like round, or like number 55, 56 overall, something like that?
It was 52.
Dang.
Yeah, so that's like my regret right there in Javi's league. And then
but you're in first place, so that one didn't really like
didn't hurt me.
It didn't hurt you.
But still though, I have Bellinger, you know, and
that's true.
I gave up Olsen early on in the season for that.
You did. So
definitely not.
Olsen's a stud right now.
Yeah.
I've never seen him have this batting average before. He's batting like what, 277, something like that. 275, 277, and he's hitting for power. I mean, he always hits for power, but his contact rate went way up. His contact rate went up, and his strikeout percentage went down. He's not hitting a lot of ground balls.
Olsen?
Yeah. A lot of whenever he hits the ball, it's pretty much going up in the air, dude. And you know, with the launch angle and everything that's going on, that's what you're kind of focusing on. You want the ball to be in the air. You don't necessarily want it to be an infield pop-up or, you know, even just like a regular routine fly ball to the outfield. But anytime you put the ball in play, you have a chance to get on base. And especially if it's in the air, you can knock in a run or two.
Yep. Well, is that the only regret you have, Tony?
I mean, there's as far as like busts go, I mean, there's quite a few of them, but like as far as like who I drafted, I would say maybe Kenta Maeda. I probably picked him up in the 5th round. And he hasn't really been up to par.
Yeah, that kind of sucks because he was having a career year in 2020.
Yeah, he was the runner-up for the Cy Young.
Yep.
And I understand why you would pick him up because he's eligible for a reliever and a starter, right? Yeah. What is that? Start?
Sparp.
Oh,
I did it.
You finally got it or what? So yeah, I understand that one. Like I'll go next. The one I feel like I kind of messed up, and it was in Javi's league, was Mookie Betts. I picked him up in my first. It was the first
First overall, right?
first overall. Yeah. So,
Oh,
the
you were
way,
number one.
yeah, number one. That's what
Oh,
I'm saying.
shit.
He's
Yeah,
not
good
batting.
job, bro.
Exactly. I should have, but I didn't do pitching because I'm like, it's a 10 team league. It's not, I'm gonna be able to pick a pitcher up. And I thought he was gonna come back from the World Series being one of those top players. He hasn't even come, like, lately he's been saying that he hasn't even played up to what he's normally known for. So
He's starting to get it back though. He changed up his swing a little bit, changed his grip on the bat, and he's getting to the ball a little bit quicker. He was really late on low pitches that have movement on it. So sinkers, change ups. He was getting really late. So the grip that he changed on the bat, it actually helped him out a lot. And he's been making some solid contact lately. He had 2 home runs the other day, right?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
yeah,
He's
he's probably gonna
better.
he might pick it up at the second half, but for now, from what I'm seeing till this point, that was my regret. And because it was the first pick. It was the first pick. I had so many other guys I can, like you said, DeGrom or Cole. I could have went for a pitcher.
Hey, at least you didn't get Acuna.
Dang, that's
But see, like, you can't really say that with I think like players, as far as regret goes, is like they don't produce. Injuries you can't really do anything about.
Yeah,
them,
you can't do nothing about that.
But okay, looking at it,
But I would regret that
today,
though. I would be like, fuck.
big time, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
It's a big hit.
That's the type of guy that he's been producing since day one. He's even having kind of a down year than his normal years, but he's still, like a top 20 point producer in all of baseball right now. So I would have been happy up to this point, but looking at it now, like, dang, that's like a number 1, 2, or 3 overall pick, and that's a shitload of points that you're not going to be getting for the rest of the season.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's horrible. And then now, like, there's going to be questions about when do you draft him next year, because he's going to be coming back from this injury. We don't know how it's going to affect his performance.
Well, that's why you got to watch spring training games, man.
Yeah. Well, they're saying that he might not even be available for spring training. He might not even
that long.
Yeah, that it'll be like maybe 2 months into the season.
I don't know. He's pretty young. I think he should be able to come back pretty quick. A lot of the guys, like when you're a little bit older than 30, that's when it usually takes a longer time to recover. Trust me, I know from experience. And but like a lot of these younger guys, like they come back quick. I mean, look at Eloy and Luis Robert, like really young outfielders that were not even supposed to swing a bat at all this season in the major leagues after their injuries. And what's his name?
Roberts.
The other one.
Eloy
Jimenez. He's coming back in a couple weeks from now. And Luis Robert is what, maybe like a month and a half out at most.
Yeah, he's not too far behind.
He's not
Eloy.
He's not. But remember when Eloy Jimenez, they said that he was going to be out the full year.
Exactly.
He wasn't even supposed to come. Like a pectoral tear
he
is really
completely tore the muscle off of the bone.
Yeah.
That how do you come back from that in just 3 months?
Is it 3 months?
No, yeah, because it was in spring training. So March, and then you got April, May, and June, all of June. So now we're in July. So 3.5 months later, and he's already on his way back.
Yeah. Well, he went 3 for 7 in his last 2 rehab games.
In high A,
home run.
In high A ball, he's
going into AAA now.
Going into AAA, so we're gonna see what he can do in AAA.
Single A is nothing, right?
Well, I mean, single A is still, it's still like, better than college or high school, but it's still like a lot of these guys that are in high A, they're either really wild, pitching wise, they're either really wild, or
it makes it hard for you to stand on the plate.
Yeah. It makes it scary for guys that just came off an injury. You're like, oh, please don't hit me.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get injured again.
Dude, I just came from a pectoral surgery and injury. Like, man, it hurts.
Hey, but see, look, that's a good sign for him to even like hit a home run during his first game. Whether it be high A
or both of them, they see how the White Sox are doing right now, and they're like, I got to get the fuck back there. I got to help my team.
I got to get a ring.
So injury ridden, man. They just lost. I think we talked about it last episode where they lost Grandal. So and then
and Grandal's not gonna come back for a while either.
Yeah.
Will, you say he might be out the whole season?
Yeah, probably.
Oh man, I hope not, because I have him in one of my fantasy leagues, and
He hasn't really been producing that much anyway.
He hasn't. He hasn't. His on base percentage is a lot more than his batting average. He's batting like in the 150s or something like that. So
yeah, you know, speaking about catchers, when you guys brought up Grandal, I did not realize that Salvador Perez is fucking beasting it this year, man.
Yeah, he is.
He is beasting it. I don't own him in any of my leagues, and because the league is so hyped about Real Muto and Buster Posey. Buster Posey making a comeback after he had a year off, and Yadier Molina because he's 39 years old. But dude, Salvador Perez is a freaking beast, man. 275 and a shitload of bombs. I didn't even realize, dude. That was your breakout, right? Or your comeback player.
It was my comeback
player, dude.
Yeah,
that was such a good call, man.
Yeah.
Such a good call.
And well, dude, here's a regret I have. I was looking at because it's funny how you mentioned Salvador Perez, because I was kind of like going as like who did I pick up and who I could have picked up, and I'm looking at my drafts here, and I drafted Keston Hiura in the 11th round, which went 109, right in front of Salvador
No way.
Perez, who went 117.
Oh,
so
man.
like when I think about it, it's like I should have fucking went with a catcher right there and then, knowing that an elite catcher would go by like round 9, 10, or 11. I should have just been like, boom. But see, look, that's things for like next year to carry on, or
that's a really good observation. That's really good.
So I regret that one. Just like what I
regret not drafting them.
Let me give you
Hold on, Will, before you continue, I just want to say Salvador Perez has played 89 games. I think that's 89 games before on the All-Star game. So every single game that the Kansas City Royals have played, he's been in the backstop. So dude, this guy is a freaking machine back there. He's played every single game. His batting average is 275, 21 home runs, 53 RBIs. This guy is actually beasting, dude.
Yeah.
And if it's not, a catcher is not supposed to be having those numbers. And he is. He's just like on it.
And check this out too, dude. You guys saw him in the All-Star game today. And did you see who replaced him?
No. Who replaced him?
Frick. I can't even remember his name, dude.
Oh man. Gotta be ready with the name, man.
No, man. I'm gonna look it up right now just so I can get the name. But
Zunino, wasn't it?
Zunino, yeah, that's right. Who hit a bomb today? But the thing that I wanted to share with you guys is that Salvador Perez is the best American League catcher right now, right?
Well, that's why he has the gold Rollins what do you call it? Chest protector, man. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Like not every catcher has it.
He is gold, man. He's fantasy gold.
Yeah, hey, right now he is.
But if you're Kevin Cash and you take him out and you put in Zunino as the second one, have you guys seen Zunino's stats?
He's going off too.
He has a few good home runs. He has a decent amount of home runs, but he's batting 198, man.
Yeah, but that's what you get with Zunino. Just like I would say, he's just like
what I mean is
four-man Sanchez.
This is the All-Star game, and the second best catcher in the American League has a 198 batting average. That's freaking horrible, dude.
That is horrible, man. See, and that's the problem I have with the All-Star game. What have I been saying about the All-Star game? People are just voting people like.
Well, but Zunino didn't get in from fan votes though because he was an alternate.
How deep is that position, anyways?
It's not deep. It's not deep.
But I mean,
but you could have had Mercedes go in there.
You look at the American League, and there are guys.
He's in the minors. what happened?
I'm sorry. You look at the National League, and you look at guys like Wilson Contreras, who all across the league, everyone knows this guy's struggling this year, but his numbers are better than Zunino's.
Yeah.
Zunino's he's under the Mendoza line, man. He's at 198 and made the
All-Star game. Back out though. Well, you know what? It was supposed to be Posey,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
it was
And
supposed to
in
be
the National
Posey.
League, and that's what I was gonna ask. What happened to Posey? How come he didn't
He
start the
he
game?
opted out. I think
He's on,
he's
opted
he's
out?
on the IL.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
he's
think
in
he's still
IL?
hurt.
He's on
And
the
then
IL
it
right
was-
now. And then they asked Molina, but
Mhm.
Molina's on the IL too. He just got hurt.
He's just like,
Yeah.
nah, man, I'm not.
I
I'm
think he
tired,
opted
man."
out. I don't think he's hurt.
Who,
I have
Posey?
Molina in one of my leagues.
Oh
So I-
no,
I think-
Posey. When the Dodgers played the Giants, he was suffering from back stiffness, but he was still playing. So they were saying that he might not even go to the All-Star game because he wants to rest it, and that's good for him because he hasn't gone. He didn't play last year, so this
Yeah.
season's gonna be too long for him.
So look, it
Um,
says Molina will instead choose to spend the weekend resting the foot injury that had him on the injured list prior to the season. So he's not necessarily injured right now, but he was injured before the season started, and it seems like it's still bothering him, which is why
he's
he
been
wanted
pretty
to
good.
take the the week, take advantage of it and rest up a little bit.
Why not? There's
Put
a
some
lot of
ice
people
on
doing
his
it.
tippies.
How many Astros were in the team? I didn't even get to see the presentations. of the
There were
players.
two. It was just
Two,
Correa and Altuve.
and they
But
didn't go.
huh?
So the Astros didn't have no representation in the All-Star game.
No, and I was actually arguing with someone online about it too because they
you
were
serious?
saying that I made a comment that because they don't want to be in the same dugout as the guys from that they screwed over 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And someone else was like, you don't know what you're talking about. It's not even that. And then I clapped back and I said, well, yeah, maybe for Correa, because Correa actually has a good reason not to go because, he doesn't want to miss the birth of his child. So I completely understand that. But Altuve, why wouldn't Altuve want to go?
Because he has a perfect tattoo on his left side
Oh,
saying
you
that
guys
it's
saw
not
that?
unfinished. Get out of
Ridiculous,
here,
man.
man. That guy. Oh my
What is
god, dude.
Unfinished. Did you see that?
Oh, that shit
Did you
looks-
see that
shit-
tiny
yeah.
little tattoo? It's
Get
like
outta here.
this, man.
Yeah,
it,
it's a
it
small
says
tattoo.
Melanie in script with a little tiny heart. That's like a 30 to 45 minute tattoo. How do you not get that finished in one session?
Dude,
That
but it
makes
doesn't
no
look that
sense,
bad.
man.
though.
But you know what though?
Bad.
Altuve's never the one that said that though. It was Correa that said that in an interview that he was talking to Ken Rosenthal about it. Because Ken Rosenthal was asking him like, so, were you guys using the trash cans in 2018,
With the
2019? And then he was like, Altuve was the only one that didn't use the trash cans that year. And he would get upset with the guys in the dugout when they were doing the trash can because he really didn't want it. And then Ken Rosenthal asked him, so why didn't he want his jersey to get ripped off then? And then that's when Correa was like, you know what? I'm going to tell you, he doesn't want me to say anything, but it's because he has a tattoo that's not finished and it doesn't look very good. Like, dude, that is the tiniest little tattoo. How is that not finished? And how was that? How was it going to look bad?
Dude,
But
it's
there's
'cause-
nothing under
if
it. It's not big. It's just writing.
yeah.
If he
That-
would never
that
take
was
off
such
his
a
shirt,
cop-out,
it
dude.
would
If
have
he
been the
would've just-
perfect excuse.
If he would have just stuck to his first excuse and said that the wife didn't want him to rip off his jersey on national television, maybe she's jealous or something. Okay, there would
Nah.
still be questions about that, right?
no.
But it would actually like make a little sense to some people that actually do have a really jealous wife.
Okay, look,
but
it doesn't matter if let's say all three of us let's say all three of us were playing in the same team and I just hit a bomb to go to the World Series. And I had told you guys before the game, hey man, if
I'd
you hit
rip
a
your
bomb-
pants off.
Exactly, right? You will. I'm pretty sure you will. I know you will. They'll take my hat off. They'll do everything. They'll carry me there. Dude, and I'll be so stoked that I'll forget about all that stuff. I wouldn't remember my wife telling me, hey, don't take your shirt off in public or don't do that. Like, dude, no. You're playing the game and you're hitting a bomb against Chapman. Dude, Chapman is a freaking elite closer. Why wouldn't you celebrate it to be like, damn, I hit it off of Chapman. We're going to the World Series, but I'm worrying about my wife. So don't take my shirt off because she's going to get in trouble. Like, nah, you don't think about that. You think about, I just hit a bomb. Was it
You
game
think
7?
about the moment.
Yeah, exactly. Was it game 7? I think it was game 7, right? Or game
Um,
6. Whatever game it was, doesn't matter. He made it all the way. They made it to the World Series with that
Yeah.
bomb. And yeah, dude, it just sucks. And then not only that, I think Altuve didn't want to go because you just said it. Correa spoke up for him. So because he didn't have his butt buddy, speaking up for him going to the All-Star game, he decided to be like, I'm
playing with
go.
guys like Judge that, everyone knows that there's controversy that he could have possibly stolen the MVP from him in 2017.
Yeah.
It's one thing to play against these guys and being on the same field against these guys, but being in the same dugout with them, dude, that would have to be super freaking awkward. If I was them, I wouldn't want to go either. I'd be like, oh man, I got to come up with an excuse so I don't have to go,
Tony would have been like, no, man, that's my team. Don't talk about my Stros like that.
I've been holding it back.
I know you have. That's your favorite player. Hey, one thing that I noticed today too in the All-Star game, there was 2 Pirates, and the Pirates are in last place. Dude, they started
Adam Frazier. He made some slick ass plays.
And Barnes, right? It was Frazier and Barnes that started. So, and you have teams that are like first place that didn't even have anybody out there.
Yeah.
Dang, that sucks, man. But that's how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be where the player is doing good. That's why he's starting that game. It's a reward for those players that are actually playing good, not a reward for those players that are really in social media and all this stuff. Like Sanino, I don't know, man. 198. What the hell? Hey, but he hit a bomb, right? He hit a bomb, so
yeah, that's true.
Well worth it.
And they won.
They won 8 in a row.
Not because of that bomb, but it just added
was it a 2-run blast?
I think
no, it was a solo shot. It was a solo shot.
Yeah. All right, well, let's go to you, man. What's your biggest draft regret?
I mean, you guys already know, man.
Let me guess.
Hold on. Guess.
I'm gonna say Suarez.
Yeah.
Oh,
Eugenio Suarez. I drafted him in 2 leagues, and I traded for him in 1 league. So I have him in 3 leagues. One of the leagues I dropped him. Actually, no, 2 of the leagues I dropped him. So I dropped him in.
Have they picked him up though? Have they picked him up, or he's still?
Yeah, he's gone.
Oh, okay.
So someone got him in both leagues. So
that's their problem.
I know, right? That's exactly how I feel. I did the worst trade of my fantasy baseball career with this freaking guy right here that's under me right now.
Oh,
I traded away Nolan Arenado, and I got Eddie Rosario and Eugenio Suarez. I was like, I'm coming up because Arenado's having a down season, and he's playing in St. Louis, and he's just not comfortable. He's pulling a Lindor. I really thought that I was like coming up on that trade, man. I got two elite players for 1 elite player, and Eddie Rosario has actually been pretty decent.
But he just got hurt too. Huh?
He just got hurt, but he's been getting me a decent amount of points. But Suarez, his power stroke is there. He's hitting a lot of home runs. So in a categories league, he might be worth keeping on your roster because he's getting a lot of runs and a lot of RBIs and a lot of home runs. It's 3 categories he's contributing in. But in a points league with all those strikeouts and a really low batting average, doesn't get a lot of hits, he's just not worth it, man. So anyone listening, if you have Eugenio Suarez and you're in a points league, if it's 12 teams or less, time to cut him. Should have cut him like a month ago.
Yeah, because you probably could have picked up like Fletcher a few months ago.
I came up on Jonathan India, man.
Yeah, that's a good
same team as Eugenio Suarez. I have him in 3 leagues, and this dude has been producing since day 1. And the Reds believe in him so much that they put him in the leadoff spot. So he scores a lot of runs.
And that's very valuable too, because of the
very
runs.
valuable, man. You get more plate appearances because when the lineup turns over, they're the first ones to get the first chance to get that extra at bat. So guys in the leadoff spot are usually going to hit 4 or 5 times compared to a guy that's more, where Suarez hits like 6 or 7, who's probably only going to have on the low side 3, on the high side 4 or 5.
Hey, we have someone from Korea, man. Pex, I guess he's 19 years old, living in Korea. So, oh damn, that's pretty
I don't
dope,
know,
man.
man. Those three hearts right there, it kind of makes me think it's a bot.
It's a
What?
bot.
I think it's
No
Yeah,
way. Those 3 hearts are one for each of us, bro.
Yeah, there you go,
What are
dude.
you talking
you
about?
can have my heart, Tony. I don't believe that.
You're just giving your heart away like that. Yeah, well, what's up, man? How's it going? Do you have any questions? Go ahead and do it. If you're not a bot,
If you're not a bot,
Chicks
stop
Love
trying to sell us
Baseball,
some
L7
insurance.
Weenie. I don't know, L7 Weenie, who we're talking about. One of those weenie we were talking about.
Who's a square?
It's a L7 Weenie, man. Dude,
What?
I know the did you guys see the Reds? Do you guys have you guys paid attention to the team? They look like they're kind of like what do you call it? One of those players that always talking a bunch of mess.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Tony, I know you
They're-
like Joey Votto.
They
Votto was one
talk
of
like
those
they're
players-
better than they are.
Exactly. Yeah, I noticed that. I noticed that a lot. And Joey Votto has been one of those players forever that he speaks out and he's just
Yeah.
like, man, like he
And
even talks to the
he
fans
used to
and
back
tells
it
them that.
up. He used
Yeah.
to back it up, but
He's-
now
He still does though. I think he
He-
still does.
I think he's gonna be a Hall of Famer.
I doubt it.
I think his career, like at the end right now, is suffering. It's making those votes are gonna be kind of hard to get. He needs to have an elite second half of this season, and I think
He's been
you-
very serviceable this year. He's been averaging like 3.2, 3.3
Yeah.
points. That's
with,
very
with Hall of
useful.
Fame, dude. I
That's better than
seriously doubt.
Cody.
I seriously doubt.
better than
Yeah.
Cody.
Yeah, and I
mean-
need a first baseman right now. Let me think.
Most first base eligible players are better than Cody right now. And who was my bust at first base? Who
Shut
was
up.
my bust?
Who was
Remember,
your
I even
bust?
told you guys, I was like, you guys are gonna hate this, but my bust is Cody Bellinger. And look at this, man. It's not even just the injuries, because I knew he was gonna get injured. He just came off a shoulder surgery. And then it was a calf thing. I really hope this guy isn't like super injury prone like a Corey Seager. The Dodgers can't afford to have just another player just constantly
That
going
calf
on and off
injury
the
wasn't
IL.
his fault though.
No, it
Oh,
was.
It
not his
literally
fault.
stepped on him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they stepped on them. It's not his fault, and I know you did call that one. That one was like a Nostradamus, just like Tony.
Salvador Perez.
Salvador Perez, man, his and that's a really good call. If you guys are listening,
It's so funny too because
what?
Tony said that Keston Hero was his bust, and then he goes and drafts him in the
Yeah,
seventh
but
round.
see, look, Keston here, like I said, Keston here, I got him in round 11.
Oh,
His
round
average
11.
draft pick was round 7.
Round
So I
7,
felt-
and
I
he
felt
did
like
go like late, really late. I
Yeah,
remember seeing
Because
him on
everybody
there.
was so like, I'm not touching him, and I should have been the same way.
Dude,
Yeah.
but see, that's because I think everybody was listening to you, Tony. Everybody was saying, damn, like that's true. Like, why are we gonna pick him up in the 7th round? And we've talked about it so many times in our podcast. Like, why is he going in the 7th round? He's
Yeah,
not even
he was one of those players that I think
we talked about a lot.
overhyped or whatever. You know,
Yeah. We
like
talked about a
Bohm was. I think he went pretty
Bohm.
early too.
Bone was one of those two that we were talking about a
He
lot.
really hasn't
No.
done much.
No,
I,
You know, one of the-
drafted Alec
way
Bohm.
worse. You know,
I drafted Alec Bohm in the 11th round.
Hey, one of the players that come to my mind and that we talked about is Zach Wheeler. And I remember I'm saying he's gonna pitch in the 200s, and you guys like, nah, he's a 300 pitcher. And I'm like, where's he at right now? I know it's a half point, but he's
What are you
under.
talking
He's
about?
at
200.
Zach, 200 ERA.
Oh,
You know, 200
okay.
ERA. And he's in the 300. He's not even in the 300. You guys were saying that he was gonna be in the 329, 319. I'm like,
I
no,
was
man, he's
thinking
pitching.
like low threes. I
He's right
was
behind
like on
DeGrom
a
right now, right?
on a good season he'll be like 290s. I didn't realize that he was going to have this type of season that he's having right now. I mean, who did, right?
No one projected that, but this is the potential this kid has, and that's what the Mets were like hoping for him to develop into. He was supposed to be the ace of that staff with the Mets. It wasn't supposed to be DeGrom. It wasn't supposed to be Syndergaard. It was supposed to be Zach Wheeler. And now that they let him go, he's with the Phillies. Now he's proving everybody that he is that ace pitcher that the
Yep.
Mets drafted him for. So dude, I honestly think that this guy's gonna be like a huge part for the Phillies. And the Phillies aren't that behind from the Mets to actually have a run to for the playoffs. And if what's the name, Lindor doesn't step up, like I talked about last time, where he needs to get more frustrated and get to it. I think this second half for the Mets is gonna be kind of tough, man, if
Yeah,
Lindor
but
doesn't turn it
I
on.
don't think that the frustration for Lindor is what's really going to help him. The biggest part of his game is him having fun. He's not having fun in New York. I think once he starts having fun, then you know what the Mets need to do? They need to get a different third baseman. They need to get a solid third baseman. And
Trade deadline?
what's the buzz that's going around everywhere right now? What teams are willing to trade certain pieces because they know they're not going anywhere? The Cubs, dude. If they can get Chris Bryant, who's on a contract year, he's going to be a rental, dude. That would be freaking huge, man. That would be huge.
For the
Even
Mets.
even if they have a different third baseman, that's fine because they could still use a solid outfielder too. Chris Bryant can play any outfield position, so he could be a super utility.
That's true. That's true. And I think that's a really great. I didn't think about that trade. That trade would be really beneficial for the Mets because you have a hungry Bryant going into the Mets that's going to actually probably even offer him a contract because I think the Cubs are not going to do that.
The Mets just got bought out by a billionaire who still has billions that he wants to spend money. He's probably the Mets are probably the only team
He's
that
like
really
a Mets
wants to spend
fan,
money
though,
right
right?
now.
He's a Mets fan. Yeah.
He wants to win.
He wants
a
to win,
championship.
dude.
Yeah.
I wish there were more owners
I
like
forget
him.
what they call him, Uncle something, right? What's his name?
I
They
don't
call
know.
him Uncle something.
Yeah. Look it up, Tony. I'm pretty sure you can find it.
I know
Yeah.
the Dodgers call Albert Pujols Uncle Albert.
Is
They
it,
said that they wanted to call
machine?
him Grandpa Albert in the beginning, but they thought that was disrespectful, so they started calling him Uncle Albert instead.
Uncle Albert,
They call him Uncle Steve.
Uncle Steve,
Oh,
New
yeah.
York,
Yeah,
New
Uncle
York.
Steve's.
The other buzz is are they going to trade Scherzer?
Mm.
And who's going to trade for Scherzer and who's going to get him? You know, the Yankees. I just heard this right now
The
before we got
Yankees.
on.
That's exactly what I was thinking, man.
Yeah, the Yankees. Because since we're talking about Scherzer, and I know Adam Eden was with the White Sox, but I think he just got released from the White Sox, so it looks
Yeah.
like the Yankees might even try to sign this guy to
Adam
get
Eaton?
to get some spark into their team.
Adam
They don't-
Eaton, man, he's getting towards the end of his career. He used to steal bases. He used to have really good batting average, but he's become a player that's really injury prone and he doesn't make solid contact on the ball like he used to. I think if anything, someone's going to get him super cheap for the rest of the season. He's going to play for some team. And I think that majority of the time that he's going to be playing, it's either going to be pinch running, pinch hitting, or just kind of like random days off that certain outfielders are going to need.
I don't even know if he'll get picked up.
I
That's
think
what I'm
he's
saying. The Yankees were one of
going to be
those teams that are
super
looking for him.
cheap, man. He's going to
Yeah.
be super cheap. They'll get him
League
for
minimum, like
400,000.
500,000.
That's what they'll get him for, just like the Dodgers got Pujols for.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
That's
Pujols
so
is still
cheap.
getting paid like what 11
so
million
cheap.
dollars
Yeah,
a year?
for us, it's like, what the hell, man? Give me that a
What?
year. I'll be all right.
for the
Pay
next
my
4
house
months.
off. Yeah.
Yeah, and all you need is a pinch runner once in a while for that amount of money for any major league team right now. That's chump change, dude. For us, that'd be like $50, you know?
So what's the biggest buzz out there for trades? I know we just said Scherzer and we said the Yankees. That's the only team I feel like will be a good fit
Pirates.
for him. The Pirates, who
The Pirates want to trade Adam Frazier, or not necessarily want to, but they're listening to offers for him.
do you think he's going to get traded?
Oh yeah, I think so.
You
The
think
Pirates,
so?
dude, the Pirates are so stupid, man. They don't know how to draft. They take a catcher number 1 overall. Who takes a catcher number 1 overall? Why not go for pitching? There were so many pitchers that went in round 1 of the draft that are so much better than an elite catcher. Like, yes, I get it. This guy's hitting 375 in college, but I mean, come on, dude. you look at guys that are elite in Major League Baseball right now when it comes to catching, like Real Muto, or a couple years ago, even when Gary Sanchez was on that crazy hot streak and he batted like 280 with 40 home runs. No catcher, even with those stats, is worth a number 1 overall pick, man.
Yeah, I would never go after a catcher. I would never go after one of those players that are injured. Like I think I saw a draft going in the, what was it, a 3rd round? He was injured from, I believe it's he had Tommy John. But see, that's another one. Look at Bueller. Bueller had Tommy John surgery before the freaking draft, and the Dodgers drafted him. And look at him now, dude. I take back what I was going to say. That I saw that this guy was injured, but then I thought about Bueller, and look at him now. He's one of the top pitchers for the Dodgers. So never mind. I take it back.
Like same thing with the Angels when they didn't draft him, but when they signed Ohtani to that long deal, they got him for pretty cheap. But they knew that he came with injury concerns.
Yeah,
they knew that he was hurt. They knew that he was probably going to have Tommy John surgery soon. The guy's been pitching since he was a little kid, throwing breaking pitches before he's 10 years old. So that's a lot of wear and tear on that tendon. So it was bound to happen sooner or later, but the Angels were ready for that and they knew it was going to happen. And now they can build on it because the dude's healthy. He's a freaking beast, man. I mean, Tommy John surgery is in the past. So I think there's nothing but good things coming for Shohei Ohtani.
All right. Well, is there anybody coming up that we should be expecting to come up into the big leagues? Because we are going into the second half of baseball, and this is where it's going to get a little bit tough for certain players. There's going to be more injuries because the playing is going to be a lot different than what it was the first half. This type of baseball, like I said earlier, I think the second half is going to be more interesting this year than in the past years. Is there any player out there that's coming up to the bigs that we should be looking at that you guys know of? I know there's a few players that we've talked about, but it hasn't been really like a big type of player where you're like, it's going to be a game changer.
There's a couple. Bobby Witt Jr.
Yeah.
If he gets the call up, that's the type of guy that you need to try to get your hooks in quick. Who knows how long he'll be up in the majors, just because he's probably just going to be like an injury replacement. I don't think they'll keep him up for too long. They definitely want to keep him on for that extra year of service, towards the end of his rookie contract.
Yeah.
I think that in 2022, the Bobby Witt Jr. should be drafted in every league. I think he's going to be an everyday player coming up in next season.
Mm-hmm.
And then another one is Jarren Duran. I think Jarren Duran, he's the Red Sox need help. And I mean, they don't necessarily need help, but they could definitely use another outfielder. Kike Hernandez, Alex Verdugo, the new guys from LA that went to Boston. Verdugo is, he's decent. He's serviceable. He's a decent bat in the lineup, but Kike has just kind of been overall bad this season. So they can't really trust him to be an everyday player like they were kind of hoping. But Jarren Duran, I think, can fill in that hole. So if Kike's not going to cut it, or if they want to just move him around the field, outfield, second base, shortstop, just like the same thing that he did with the Dodgers, then they could definitely make room for Duran.
Yeah. And the Red Sox are playing good baseball, man. I think the Red Sox are a big surprise to me. Tony, you called that one, that the Red Sox were going to have a good team, and they're playing
And
good
Chris
baseball.
Sale coming back.
That's just going to be good, dude. It's going to be good for the Red Sox. And you said Kike Hernandez you think it's going to step it up this second half?
He has been.
He has been, right?
Yeah.
The last couple of weeks.
He's playing center field, I think.
And he was supposed to be the second base starter.
Yeah.
He's playing the outfield. So the Red Sox, I look, if the Yankees don't make a big trade to change the dynamic the team has right now, I don't think they're going to make a push. But the other team that I do see making a push, and if they make a trade, and I think they need a starting pitcher, is the Blue Jays. if the Blue Jays get that starting pitching, because they have a bunch of hitting in that.
Yeah.
Look how many All-Stars are
Young
in
hitters,
the
dude.
team. Yeah, exactly. They just need that one pitcher. What if
Tony
Scherzer goes
just
over there?
traded for Teoscar Hernandez, right?
Yeah.
Dude, what if they get? What
Another
if they go get Scherzer? What if they get Scherzer, man?
Yeah, and you know what? That's not a bad idea. Like right now, I think.
Yeah.
Will, you were super high on him, Nate Pearson.
Yeah,
Pearson.
Have Nate Pearson a part of that piece to trade off for Scherzer.
that's a good idea.
And then you'll be a World Series contender.
That's a really good idea,
Tony.
because we've seen Nate Pearson in the majors, and
See, man, I'm gonna make deals for the MLB right now, bro. That's how good of a trade I am.
Dude.
Nate Pearson has been looking really good in the minor leagues, and he came up, and they were hoping that he was going to be like a solid, like mid-3s ERA type of guy with decent strikeout potential. The few starts that he had in the majors, it just didn't go that way. So, they sent him back down to the minors, but they still have high hopes for this guy. So, putting him as a piece to trade for a guy like Scherzer, even though he'll be a rental. If that could be one of the moves that they do.
Man, sorry, don't mean to cut you off, Will. You want to answer that, Tony?
Oh, is it MLB?
Yeah, they want you to be part of the Blue Jays so you can make trades for them. Go for it, Will. Sorry. Go for it, man.
I think that if Scherzer gets traded to the Blue Jays, then that's
crazy.
That's still not going to be enough.
You don't think so?
I don't think it's going to be enough, because
I think it is.
Offense is there, and then they have the two really good starting pitchers.
Who's the two? Dude, look. If you have a veteran like Scherzer that has gone all the way to the World Series and lost it with the Tigers, and then go with the Nationals and won it all after being 19 games out of first place, and then went into the second.
Yeah.
The team that won the World Series, they went to the World Series against the Astros, where the Astros were favorite to win that World Series. Dude, I think Scherzer's a game changer, and he can change that pitching staff, man. So,
and it's I think it's pretty good.
It'll be a good trade.
Really hasn't been doing what they expected out of him, but he's been very, very consistent though.
Yeah,
like, decent. I've seen worse, So Hyun-Jin Ryu, and then you got Robbie Ray. He's probably having one of his best seasons. Ross Stripling, who's been okay as well. Steven Matz was really good.
Ross Stripling never goes 6 innings though. Like once in a while, he'll have a good game.
Nowadays, though.
That is true, but but Stripling's been going like 4, not even like a full 5.
I've been seeing 5. I have him in one of my leagues. I've been seeing 5.
He has been pitching a lot better though.
It's like 4 2/3, but Stripling. We saw it with the Dodgers.
That's a good one too, though.
He's better in the bullpen than he is in the rotation. So if they were to get Scherzer, they could move Stripling into the bullpen to help out with the other guys in the bullpen, like Tyler Chatwood. He hasn't been the best this season. They have a lot of bullpen pieces that are okay, but in the World Series, they're not going to be able to hold their own against elite hitting.
Go for Chapman too.
Chapman. they can go for it, Chapman, but I don't think they can.
Scherzer, and you got yourself a World Series team.
Yeah, I don't think that would happen. I think we're dreaming about Scherzer going into Blue Jays, but that will be perfect for the Blue Jays because they don't have to really give up so many pieces to get him. They can just go ahead and give him Pearson, right?
Pearson.
Yeah. So it'll be a win-win for both of them. So,
well, Scherzer's only going to be around for like another 4 or 5 years, right? How much
maybe?
How much time?
He's already 33.
This is contract year for him. No, Scherzer's like 36.
Oh, 36. He's 36.
Yeah, he's 36. Yeah. So,
but the way that he throws, man, it looks like he could throw forever.
Dude, a 36-year-old man was throwing in the All-Star game. He started the All-Star game.
Not only that, but he throws 200 innings every season.
Yeah, he's always legit. And not only that, he throws 98 miles per hour fastball still. So Can you
And
do
has
that?
and his stuff is nasty, man.
Yeah,
He has a lot of movement on his pitches.
really a lot of movement. I like that. Um,
I like his delivery too. It's very
Who-
deceiving.
who's the other guy that's out there that I mean, there's not a lot of buzz right now going with trades. And by this time,
Gallo.
2 years ago,
Yeah.
Gallo
Gallo.
with the
He's
Padres.
definitely going to be shipped. Story's definitely going to be shipped. Bryant
Story-
more than likely is going to be shipped.
Story,
And maybe the whole freaking staff.
All the Cubs.
Yeah, you know.
They've been talking about Rizzo, who's having a down season with his back injuries all season, that he could possibly be dealt
Baez.
before the season, before the trade deadline. Bryant for sure. I think that I think the Cubs are getting multiple offers for Bryant right now, and they're just kind of like feeling out everything to see what they could get because they want to go to the World Series again, just like every other team. And they have really good players right now that everyone wants. Who wouldn't want Chris Bryant on their team? Who could play outfield or third base
yeah.
Kimbrel
or first base too?
and Baez.
Kimbrel has a big contract though. Whoever gets Kimbrel, they have to take on that contract.
And that's
And-
fine because he's an elite closer and he has been since he was with
There you
Boston.
go. The Blue Jays can go ahead and
Yeah,
get Kimbrel.
dude,
They need
Because
bullpen.
they lost Kirby Yates.
They,
Yeah.
right off the bat too. They signed him, and then spring training started. Done.
Yeah, dude. They need a closer, man. They don't really have a legit solid closer right now.
their doctors got
That's the
fired on
second
the
piece
spot.
that I'm talking about that they need. If they could get Scherzer and they could get another bullpen piece to be their closer, because these other guys like Manoah's good, right? Manoah could be a
Mhm.
solid number 4 or 5 starter, and then you have Ryu Scherzer and Robbie Ray. And Stripling, move him to the bullpen. He can pick
Fifth.
up like
Your
the.
fifth starter.
Your fifth starter. I think he could be
Uh,
number 5 or 4.
He's better than Matt's, I think.
He is better than Matt's.
I
Actually,
think
I think they're about the same.
Yeah. I'd rather have Stripling though.
The chicken strips.
Yeah.
That's what they call them.
Yeah, they did.
Right. So then we already talked about the Blue Jays. They need that so they can go ahead and be one of the top teams in the East. What do you think about the East in the National League? Do you think the Mets have enough to push through the playoffs?
Especially through the
You said
not through
they
the
need a
playoffs,
third baseman.
but
You said they need a
looks-
third baseman, right?
they do need a
Chris
third
Bryant.
baseman because they have Jeff McNeil, and they kind of already know that Jeff McNeil has been a liability this season. They thought he was going to be the same player he was last year, and last year he was great, but this year he's just he's been down. He's not having the best season. Doesn't score a lot of runs. Doesn't really have a lot of RBIs. So and he was injured for a little bit. So
Yeah.
and you know there's speculation that he could be a cancer in the clubhouse because you know we all know the Lindor thing. And that could be the thing that kind of pushes the Mets like to that breaking point where they think that we got Lindor for the long haul and we need to make him happy so that way he can start producing better. And I don't think Jeff McNeil in the hot corner is really helping that at all. I think Chris Bryant coming over would be a huge help for the Mets.
It could, and that will
But
help.
they're definitely winning a division now, dude, with the Braves
Without
losing Acuna.
Yeah. Well, we don't know because we still see a lot of teams pushing. There's not a lot. The East is kind of close. It's still not spread out like it is in
I
other
don't think it's going
divisions.
to be too much closer any longer because Acuna was their run and RBI producer, stealing bases, hitting home runs in leadoff spot. So I don't see them scoring as many runs as they were before. I mean, who can replace Acuna?
Yeah, and Osuna might not be coming back,
No way. He's
Nah,
done.
he's not coming back.
He's done, dude.
Yeah.
Like that's the one thing. Like when someone gets found with domestic violence, they're done. Either done completely with the team or at least done for the season. I mean, remember Chapman? Aroldis
I
Chapman.
remember it
when-
was 60
when
games, right?
He shot the gun inside his house, and he didn't point it at anybody. He just got pissed off, and then the Yankees let go of him.
So that brings me to this next question. Since we're talking about domestic violence, we have a guy here in LA that's going through that, and the Dodgers are actually suffering from it. Do you think the Dodgers are going to make a big splash? I think that there's been an article that the Dodgers aren't even going to try to go after Scherzer because it's not even possible for the
No,
Dodgers to
because
get Scherzer because of the trade and the matches and stuff like that. It doesn't fit.
not
So
only that, but they're still paying Trevor Bauer. Even though
yeah, but
Trevor Bauer is gone, they're still giving him $40 million for this year.
yeah, but if it comes to where he is found guilty or whatever, the Dodgers
Then-
can easily just stop paying him because it's part of his contract. He
Right.
needs to have conduct, everything. He needs to make sure that
Code of conduct.
yeah, code of conduct. He needs to behave proper. And this is one of those excuses that the Dodgers will use to get rid of his contract and try to get someone else. Not only that, but the season's still not over. We don't know if he's going to pitch anymore this season because we don't know what the allegations are true, they're fake. We don't know how the extent of that is. We just talked
So-
about it in the last show that the MLB gave him an extension on administrative leave, which is another 7 days on top of the All-Star game. We don't know if he's going to come back from that one. Dave Roberts came back, said that he might not even pitch until August if everything goes good. We don't know that. So then the trading deadline's July 31st. Are they going to go and make a big splash? And what big splash is out there for them? The only person that I see out there is Scherzer that can make a difference for the Dodgers. Other than that, I don't see any other pitcher. I
Yeah,
don't see
because
it.
how do you replace Bauer?
Exactly. And this is a pitcher that won the Cy Young last year. It was a shortened season, yeah, but he has good stuff. The intensity that he brings to the game, and like I want to watch when he pitches, to be honest. Trevor Bauer has that about him. But as for the team of and the Dodgers, you have David Price that's going to have to step in because remember, they lost Dustin May, right?
Yeah.
So now they have
See, that-
David Price that's
the
going to step
thing.
in.
That's the thing. Because they lost Dustin May and then now they lost Trevor Bauer, they have to do something. And I think if
But
if
who's out there? Who's out there? Is there anybody out there besides Scherzer? Because like I said, Scherzer's not a big fit because it's not fitting because there's not enough players that the Nationals need for him. That's what I'm
not
saying.
only
And the
that,
Dodgers are not willing to trade Gilbert Reese, which is a top
yeah.
catcher for the Dodgers. So they're not ready to part ways with him yet.
Not only that, but you don't want to give up too much for a rental when there's too many questions looming around the team in general. Now they're still going to continue to try to win games. They're gonna put their heart out there like they always do. But I don't think that they're going to try to push and push and push for that World Series like they have in previous seasons.
But so they got it now. They have it in the bag. They already won the World Series, right? But then you got to think about the other thing too. We talked about Kershaw's forearm, which Will and us, we argued about how long, like if it becomes a Tommy John's surgery, injury or not, whatever. But you got to look at that thing too. He becomes a free agent after this season. And if he's hurt, do you go and get another pitcher? That's what I'm referring to. The Dodgers have a lot of questions. They're not in a good place to where they have 7 starters on their team like they did like years before.
Right.
They always have a starter and they have a good way to put one of those starters in there when someone gets injured. Right now, it looks like the pitching staff is suffering. They're looking at pieces. They're signing minor league contracts from pitchers that haven't even pitched in a while. Like, why are they doing that? They're trying to find like a Max Muncy type of player, like, oh, maybe he'll find it. Maybe he'll do it. Or like a Nelson, pretty much a lot of teams gave up on him, and look how good he's pitching in the bullpen. So he's doing pretty good. They found a guy that they didn't have to pay a lot of money to, but he's doing pretty good. That's the thing. That's the question going into the second half for the Dodgers. You're looking at the Padres. Are they going to go ahead and get someone for that bullpen because they're really taxed? Someone that can long relief for them. Lamet, it looks like he's going to be injured. He hasn't been pitching good since last year. So that's another thing. Then the Giants, are they going to keep up playing? We talked about it in the beginning of the show. Are they going to keep playing like they've been playing in the whole season? So many things to think about as a fantasy owner. You got to look at trades because a lot of trades happen, and sometimes a player picks up and plays a lot better, and sometimes they sink and they get lost in the mix. Like the Pirate players, the Pirates are not playing contending baseball because they're not going anywhere. But once they get traded to those big teams that are in first place, are they going to produce? And those are the type of things that you got to look at as an owner. And I know, Tony, you like to trade a lot of players like that, right? You like to look at things that are happening. Are these things going to happen? And I should be looking at, are they going to go to a contending team and they're going to suck? Or I'm going to take a risk and make a trade and try to get these players. So it is what it is, right? Guys, we hit the end of the show. If you guys have something else to say, go ahead and say it now or forever hold your peace. Will, go ahead.
I mean, we didn't really talk much about fantasy today, so I don't really have much to say fantasy wise. I think we covered pretty much everything that I really wanted to talk about today.
Yeah. And because we don't have a lot of fantasy things because it was All-Star break and there's not a lot of details out there for us to put out here for the viewers. And so, I mean, we're just going ahead and just saying what it is, right? A lot of people,
you know what I did want to touch on a little bit actually is the home run derby, because there's been a lot of talk in previous seasons that after the home run derby that these batters go into a slump. And I was actually listening to the CBS Fantasy Baseball Today guys, and Chris Towers did some research, and he said that yes, it's true that pretty much every year all these the guys that do the home run derby in the second half they start to decline a little bit, but when he compares those numbers to the season previous where they didn't compete in the home run derby, then he was seeing a correlation of still some regression. So it's not necessarily that the home run derby is making these guys kind of decline a little bit. It's just, wear and tear, and more than likely just kind of general fatigue from just being out on the field every single day. That's kind of just making them regress a little bit. So that being said, guys like Pete Alonso and
Juan Soto,
Ohtani, Juan Soto.
He hit a bomb today
like
too
that.
In the game.
Yeah.
Maybe this will spark him up, dude.
That's what the Nationals are hoping for.
Yeah. So that's a sign you don't want to see if you don't go for the Nationals, because he really ripped that one. So we'll see what happens. Tony, what's your last message, man?
I don't know. I would probably say in between this trade deadline, if you do have any of those players that are going to be traded, maybe their trade value shoots like almost like it just goes up. I would probably try to trade him off, like Brian Reynolds. If he gets traded to like a contending team, maybe try to trade it for like someone who's a decent pitcher with a background, Joey Gallo is another player that kind of comes to mind. If he gets traded to like a contending team, I would probably try to shop I don't know, just like decent pitching. I just feel like every fantasy league every year needs pitching, and I feel like
this year more than others.
Yeah, especially with all the injuries and things like that. So I would say right now, start thinking about players. If you do have these players that are going to be traded off and their trade value is going to be increasing, definitely start looking at like who you can trade off for,
Do you feel like once these players get traded to a contending team that they start losing it a little bit? Is that why you're saying it? Or you're just saying because
no, it's just because their value increases and you can just help your team out better, because more than likely you probably pick one of these guys up in the waiver wire, you know, and if not, then you drafted them really late in your rounds, and then
you can pick someone up that's in the early rounds.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, why not? Why not try
the trade value for the guys that you drafted, like number 20, number 21 overall, was very low, but up to this point, a lot of the trade value has gone up, and if they're traded to a contender, their trade value is going to go up even higher, and you could potentially get someone that someone else had drafted in round 8 or 9.
Yeah.
Damn, that's a
And,
good,
and just like, I mean, like let's just say like Joey Gallo, if he gets traded to a contending team, I would probably start shopping like Kershaw, Greinke. You know what I mean? I would love to have one of those pitchers
hell yeah, why
from
not?
one of those players. And Gallo has been producing right now. You know, and so once he gets traded off to a better team, I think his trade value would increase. His numbers may not even change that much, you know?
I think he
probably
hit
still
like
have-
9 home runs in 11 games or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I
Crazy.
think that's what I read about
He's,
Gallo.
He's much more valuable in a categories league than he is a points league. So trade value in a categories league, I don't think that it's really going to be beneficial for you to trade him off. That's a lot of runs, a lot of home runs, and a lot of RBI, especially if he's traded to a contender and he's hitting in the 4 hole.
Yeah.
Points leagues, I don't think the fantasy value goes up that much. Yeah, a couple extra RBIs each week, a few extra points. Like Tony said, the trade value is going to go up higher. So try to go for a starting pitcher that you need to fill a hole for. There's a lot of fantasy teams out there.
Barrios, oh my God,
yeah.
I would love that.
Dude, you said Gallo. Did we talk about it? I don't think we did. I think the Padres are really interested in Joey Gallo. So if he goes with the Padres, that trade value is just like, I'm gonna use that word, Tony, trade bait, big time.
Trade bait.
Trade bait, big time, dude.
Yeah,
Thank you guys.
they do need some help in right field.
Yeah.
They
Profar's
they have 2 really good outfielders, and then you have Will Myers.
And Will Myers hasn't been playing all that great. He started hot and then he started cold, unless he picks it up after the All-Star break. But it looks like they're pretty hard on Joey Gallo. So him going to the National League, that's a tall ass dude, man. Oh my God. That's an animal out there.
Yeah,
Hitting
and
bombs.
this guy, I mean, I know Petco's not good for home runs. It's more of a pitcher's ballpark, but Joey Gallo doesn't care about that. He's still going to hit 450-foot bombs.
Easily, man. That's a tall ass dude, man. He's like what, 6'7" or something like
And I
that.
don't know, man. I think the ball flies in San Diego.
He does. It does. They brought
during the day. In
brought the
day
fence
games,
in.
it does.
They brought the fence in like 4
Yeah,
years
they
ago.
did, right?
Yeah, it used to be a pitcher's park. Now they're hitting bombs there, man.
Well, I mean, it's for what is it? For left-handed batters, it's easier to hit home runs there, right?
Well, there you go. He's left-handed.
He is left.
He's left-handed.
Boom.
A little pop fly will hit it out for Joey Gallo. All right,
Well,
guys.
and also, if he's going to get traded to a National League West team, he's going to be playing in Colorado a few times for each season too.
He might hit 3 home runs in a game.
Yeah.
Might. Well, there you go. Your trade value
Yeah,
and trade
My
bait.
trade bait.
Joey Gallo. Thanks, Tony. Thanks, Will. For those of you that don't know, we also have an Instagram and we don't have a Facebook. We will try to work on the Facebook. Hey, man, let's try to work on the Facebook one, man. I think there's a lot of people on there that we can talk a bunch of crap on. Anyway, we do have a TikTok and we do have a Twitter account. We do actually put our shows. What was that for, Tony? We have a Castbox, Spotify, and we put the shows that we record on here on live, and we'll put it on there. So yeah, go ahead and subscribe on there and like our video. If you don't like it, make suggestions. We're open for them. Give us tips on anything you guys feel that we should talk about. Yeah, man, that's all we have to say. I'm Carlos Baseball. This is Will Power and Tony Snap. Real Talk Baseball, signing out.